and to ensure that we are staying on top of the work of the commission. I will do my best to keep the meetings on time, as we have outlined exactly when items will be heard on the agenda, so the public can follow. And if they cannot sit through a 4-hour meeting, they can hop on to watch during the items that they are interested in. I ask everyone to help keep the meetings focused so we can accomplish our goals by keeping comments focused and direct. Commissioners, please use an asterisk in the chat box when you wish to speak, so CalRecycle staff and I can see you and call on commissioners in the order requested. With 17 people, it takes all of us working together to have efficient meetings, especially with an ambitious agenda and public comment. Please feel free to alert me if I've overlooked someone wishing to speak, but CalRecycle has graciously agreed to keep track of the commissioners wishing to speak from now on. That would make it easier for me, because I know last time I did miss a few of you, and I'm sorry about that. So hopefully this will help. I received many comments from the last meeting and heard it again in the committee meetings that we must limit public comment time to keep the comments focused and our limited time together productive. Today, I ask all those submitting comments on the agenda to please keep them very focused and clear with no more than 3 minutes. We may reduce that to 1 to 2 minutes if it's still taking up too much time of the commission. We must leave room for the commissioners to debate and have their own comments expressed to the other commissioners. Members of the public who wish to comment during the meeting may do so by using the Commission's public comment portal. When using the public comment portal, please select Workshop from the initial drop-down menu. Please use the portal and not the email to submit comments, as part of CalRecycle's and the Commission's commitment to maintain transparency, because they are all logged and recorded through the portal, and it is compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Sometimes CalRecycle posts public comments to our website, but it is difficult to make scanned letters fully available and compliant with the ADA laws and the website accessibility laws. The comment tool enables us to display fully accessible public comments in a table for the website users to browse and filter. It also allows us to attach public comments exactly as they were submitted to the meeting minutes. To easily follow our work, CalRecycle set up a listserv just for the commission. You can subscribe to the listserv by going to the calrecycle.ca.gov/markets/commission webpage and look just above the blue bar with the words commission meetings in it. So with the housekeeping done, we will start with agenda item number 1. The first agenda item is our call to order, roll call, and establishment of a quorum. Will the Vice Chair, Valley, will you please call the roll?
Good morning, commissioners. And I would, Heidi, but I don't have the list.
No worry, I can do it. So I'll start with Commissioner Bouchard.
Here.
Commissioner Cadena.
I'm here.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Dell.
Here.
Commissioner Dunleavy.
Good morning, here.
Morning. Commissioner Ferrante.
Here.
Commissioner Kalpikoff.
Here.
Commissioner Lapis. I don't hear him. Is he on?
I see Nick in the attendees list.
Wonder if he's having trouble. If we can see him, how do we record him if he can't?
Maybe we can.
Here.
Commissioner Osagura?
Good morning, here.
Morning. Commissioner Potashner?
Here.
Myself, I'm here. Heidi Sanborn. Commissioner Schneider?
Here.
Great. And Commissioner Sky?
Here.
Commissioner Toyota?
Good morning. I'm here.
Morning. Commissioner Valier?
Here.
And Commissioner Ward?
Here, good morning from Crescent City.
Awesome. We
And
got
this is
everybody.
Nick. I'm sorry, I was having a hard time unmuting myself.
No, we figured. We're glad you're on. Thanks, Nick. So once again, we have not only a quorum, but every commissioner present. So thank you all very much for being on time and being ready to go. So we'll move on to agenda item number 2, right on time. Public comment review for items not on the agenda. At this time, any member of the public may address the commission on matters not listed on this agenda. Participants are encouraged to reserve their comments for regular matters listed on the agenda for the time that item is considered. Please note that no discussion or action may be taken on any item that is not listed on the agenda. Written comments that we have received on items that are not on the agenda will be placed into the record of the meeting if they're received within 2 hours of the end of this meeting. So I will start with a question actually for legal staff. I believe legal staff is on from CalRecycle.
Heidi, one quick note, Tamara Dyson is having issues with her camera and microphone. And so it's going to take her about 20 minutes to get started. So I can let you know when she is back in to field any questions for legal.
Okay, and I think you and I discussed that the question we have for her on this particular item is how can the commission and committee set a limit on the time of public comments? I think the answer will be, but we will wait for Tamar to confirm it, that each committee chair and the commission has the right to limit the time that people speak. And for we have to be very, our time together is precious. So I just want everybody to be thinking about what you think is a reasonable amount of time. But just because we're remote doesn't mean we can't limit the length of comments. So just want to throw that out there. So with that, I'll turn it over to CalRecycle staff to read any comments into the record, please.
Good morning, this is Kaoru Cruz. Good morning, Commissioner. And then actually, I need a direction, Chair Sanborn. It's a little complicated or confusing. So we received, the commission received the comment from Bruce Magnati of BPI. That was read and then also already published during the organic committee meeting. And it was a response to the Neil Edgar's comment for the organic committee meeting, which was actually the committee member decided to read at the next committee meeting. And however, the BPI's comment specifically requested to be read at the full commission meeting today. And it's very long and may take up to 10 minutes if I read it. That do you want me to read it?
No,
If so,
I'm sorry.
Okay.
No. And I'd like to mention this to Bruce. We simply can't have everybody giving us like book long things to read into the record. We would literally not be able to complete our work. We have to be very judicious. We have heard the comments. The committees have heard the comments. We've seen the comments. So now what we're doing is we're going to have to filter and invite people to speak on issues that the committees and the commissioners believe are the most important things they need to know and to hear from various stakeholders in order to make decisions on policy advice. So that will be an item we discuss today. If that's okay with the commissioners, if there's anybody that objects to that, please let me know. Okay, very good. Then that's how we'll proceed with that. And it's not that we don't want to hear, we absolutely do, but I believe that comment we've already heard, at least in the committee meeting, correct, Kaoru?
Yes, correct. And then it's being published on the portal.
Right, okay, very good.
And then, okay, so there is no other public comment under this item.
Very good. Okay, thank you very much, Kaoru, appreciate it. So we'll move on to agenda item number 3, discussion and response to previous public comments. The commission will now review and potentially, we'll think about how we're going to handle all these after we hear reports from the committee chairs on the comments that we had previously received. And the chair and vice chair, we per your direction, deferred certain comments to different committees we thought were appropriate. And those committees have met. So we're going to ask the chairs to please report out on how we're responding to these comments. So first, I'll turn it over to our Organics Committee Chair Patashner to respond to the comments from Mr. Evan Edgar, if that's okay. Commissioner Potashner?
Heidi, if you could come back, we have a garbage truck going by right now, which is ironic, but also I can't do much.
How appropriate for this work. No problem whatsoever. Okay, and congratulations on your election as chair. And for the next comment, we'll turn these over to Commissioner John Davis, who was elected chair of the Market Development Committee. Please respond to Frank Farrell's and Karen McNamara's comments. Commissioner?
Yeah, so Karen McNamara submitted some comments about refillables, and we discussed her comments, and definitely, yeah, I think the committee is definitely going to focus on reusable and repairable items, including refillables. So we will put that into our work plan. And then there was a second comment that we considered from Frank Farrell at Stockton Chamber of Commerce regarding either commission or committee participation in a recycling bin summit, which focuses on recycle-based manufacturing. So I believe, Chair Sanborn, that we're gonna be discussing that later in the agenda. So we did not take any action directly in response to Mr. Farrell's request, which did come to the full commission at the July meeting.
Yeah, and I can say it's up to you if you'd like to do this, but any requests like this, we could have, one of the ways we can work these out is to let the chair and vice chair respond to these people quickly and then report to you at every commission meeting how we've responded. And then if you wish for us to take a different tact, you can certainly provide feedback on that. I did respond to Mr. Farrell as far as getting on an agenda of the Chamber of Commerce's Green Team meeting on the 11th of August. And I'm happy to do that with my NSAC hat on, and certainly could speak to some of the things going on at the commission, but his Build Infrastructure Now Summit will be in the fall. And that's another request. So however you'd like to handle that, but I think we should get back to Frank. I think it's been about a month now since we've received the comment. Do commissioners have any thoughts on this? Do you want me to just go ahead and work with Frank on participating in the BIN Summit? Is there anybody who wants to do that on behalf of the commission? I'm happy to do it.
Yeah, and I think I did look again at the Bagley-Keene language around commissioners participating in things like a conference or meeting that's open to others, and you know, I'm comfortable that we can do that well within the framework of Bagley-Keene. I've participated in the BIN summits that have been held previously.
This conference will
as have
now be
others, and
recorded.
I'm prepared to do that.
And Chairperson Sanborn, this is Alex. I mean, if you need any help, let me know, and I'll participate with you if you'd like. I'm in this area, so I'm close to it.
Great. How about I just send an email to Frank with you on it, or maybe John too, as the chair of the Market Development Committee, and obviously an early BIN founder with me. So we can go ahead and, so Alex and John, I'll CC you on an email to Frank today and we'll get this figured out together. Does that sound okay? Everybody?
Chair Sanborn, there's an asterisk from Ted.
Thank you, Mr. Ward.
I just wanted to say that I totally support having the chair and vice chair judiciously try to receive input and then allocate it to the respective committees. And I don't see a problem with that at all.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so I'll send an email today to Frank, Mr. Farrell, and NCC Alex and John, and we'll start that conversation with them about how to participate in the BIN Summit. Thank you so much. All right, so we'll turn this now over to our new chair of the Recycling Committee, Mr. Don Levy. And we've got 3 comments that came in and were referred to that committee from American Forest and Paper Association, the Association of Plastics Recyclers, and the Consumer Brands Association. Commissioner Dunleavy?
Yes, good morning. With the American Brands and Paper Association, I reached out to the person that had submitted it, and I'm trying to set up a call with that person just to talk about how they would like to be involved and schedule a time for them if the committee thinks it would be beneficial to have them there. The same with Steve Alexander. I talked to him in the past, and I will talk to him again and find out his desire for involvement and whether it be at the committee meeting or whether he speak at the general commission meeting in front of everybody. And then with John Hewitt, I have not followed up on that.
Okay, so in order to make sure Mr. Hewitt gets a timely response, is there anything we can do to help, or any questions you have, or you're just gonna reach out to him? Is that how that'll go?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you very much for handling those. I think this process works pretty well. If you want to change it, certainly let us know. We're happy to do that. But it feels like it's working. I just want to make sure we can respond to people as quickly as possible and how we're going to handle their comments. So thank you all for your report outs on those public comments from the previous comments that we've received. All right, so we'll move on to agenda item number 4, and we are now 15 minutes ahead of time. So this is good. This is the review and potential approval of the meeting notes from our last commission meeting from July 15th. Are there any proposed changes to those meeting minutes, or do we have a motion to approve them?
There are no
Anyone?
requests to speak.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes from last session.
Thank you, Commissioner
I'll-
Segura. A
I'll
second
second.
by Commissioner Ward. Is there anyone, I guess I'll just ask, is there anyone opposed to adopting these meeting minutes? Okay, very good. Then I'll just ask that everybody say aye.
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 And
Aye.
great,
Aye.
thank you. We have a unanimous vote to approve the meeting minutes from July 15th. Thank you very much, commissioners. And again, we just gained back about 9 minutes.
Chair
So-
Sanborn, I'm sorry, there's a request to speak from Commissioner Ward.
That was to second. I was confused about the process, but I, as long as I got the floor, I think it's useful since oftentimes there seems to be a delay in the audio. When you vote yay or nay, just put your thumbs up and then we all have a visual to go with it. And if you go like this, then we'll know that we're missing your audio, that you really want to speak.
Good idea. I find it easier to do that too. Thank you. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to agenda item number 5. This is the solicitation of expanded public proposals. We are now going to discuss how we're going to solicit larger proposals for policy recommendations for our consideration. This was an item that Commissioner Lapis brought to us at the very end of the last meeting. He and I discussed it at length afterwards. It's a great idea. And so I will turn it over to Commissioner Lapis to discuss his thoughts on this and suggestions.
Sure, thank you. So this shouldn't be too long a conversation, I don't think, but I figured it would be helpful for us to ask stakeholders to submit proposals. You know, I think if we could avoid just kind of coming up with our own ideas and then getting comments on that, if we could ahead of time ask people to submit whole proposals that we can then evaluate, it'll speed up the process and we'll get ideas that we would not have thought of otherwise. Kind of thinking back to the process of AB 32 implementation and the advisory committees around that. That's kind of the format they followed, and I thought that generated a lot of great ideas. And just because we have a limited, even though there's 17 of us, we have a limited skill set and limited knowledge, and I think evaluating other people's ideas would be beneficial. So I think there's language that CalRecycle is going to put up on the screen.
Mm-hmm. And staff, if you could put that up, we'd appreciate it so everybody can see it.
Sorry, what was that you wanted to see?
The Word document that we discussed yesterday that Commissioner Lapis had sent that outlined his 5 questions, you know, the questions that were solicited